As I do once in a while, I talk college football, and I don't really want to talk about my Michigan Wolverines losing to the Washington Huskies in a rematch of the title game because they lost up in Washington. I might have to say that for another time if I do. I ain't got no expectation for them, so that wasn't, figured they were gonna lose some game. So I said if they get a chocolate chip bowl, that's about it. But let me tell you about the game that was the big surprise. Vanderbilt beating Alabama. That's an upset. When you beat Bama post Nick Saban, with Nick Saban, anything, that's a big deal. Bama had an incredible game last week against Georgia. That was like you could have said those two playoff teams. They came back this week, played Vanderbilt. I guess they didn't take them seriously. Vanderbilt was putting it on that behind. That fourth down pass was like off the chain. Beat them. And really, the game wasn't that close. I mean, it was a couple situations, but Vanderbilt clearly outplayed them. But I wonder how the posters are going to be with Bama because they're the only team that loses a game that somehow always stays crawled between the second and sixth slot where they have a real dip. Now, to be honest with you, Bama ain't really playing the kind of defense they did under Saban. They've been very loose and they look very beatable. And, but I will be curious as to if they see this as a parity year or they think that, hey, a one loss team, what they decide to do. But that was a very impressive win for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt hit some big key plays. The quarterback was very poised, and they just kept them on their toes. Bama's secondary was getting ate up. It was kind of like, whoa, it's not the kind of stuff you usually associate with Bama looking so loosey goosey. So I was very uh, pleasantly surprised. It's still a big deal when the Crimson Tide go down. Make no mistake about it. They've been one of the most important franchises over the past decade and a half, you know. And in the post Nick Saban era, it's going to be real interesting and telling. Remember, they lost to Michigan in overtime, and Michigan went on to win the chip past year, but they were there. They just don't have the same top tier defense no more. Their defense isn't quite the same as it is. We'll see what that means, but it was still an impressive win for Vanderbilt to beat them. I mean, that is an upset. I don't care what nobody says because Bama still carries. They're like those. There's one of those teams around in sports where if they lose, it's big news because you're so used to them winning and so dominant for so long. So very impressive with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's pretty much an average team, and that's nothing to get excited about because I doubt Vanderbilt's gonna run off 6, 7 wins in a row or something like that. But for one weekend, hey, they turned that place out, and I think Bama was grandstanding, being a little cocky and arrogant about it, and got their feelings handed back that hey, y'all ain't that good, which they really aren't because that game last week against Georgia could have gone either way. And they're very fortunate because they're not playing any defense. Anyway, how many times do you know Bama teams in back to back week combined giving up 75 plus points? That's not championship level, even in college, especially when a team has had standards like them. So shout out to Vanderbilt for that win, upset. And then you can still say that word for certain teams. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shit. If you like it, that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay true, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.